Welcome,
Welcome,
everybody.
everybody.
So excited.
So excited.
I have a new guest to share some amazing information and a testimony about the topic that we just can't stop talking about. And that is being a targeted individual. And we have one, my friend here, Jervon, and he says that he has found the key to defeating this.
Yes.
So excited. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, my name is Jervon Brown. I've been a targeted individual since birth. I remember hearing voices, seeing shadows. As a child, I remember feeling the same sensations going throughout my body that I feel now. As now that they're active and they've been telling me everything that's going on. I've been watched since I was a child. I've probably been gang stalked by my family since I was a child as well. And all the way throughout, I want to say elementary, middle school, high school. I never fit in. No matter how hard I tried, I was always harassed and targeted. And for some reason, even things that happened in secret, my family always knew my secrets. So I want to say it goes back to family. I want to say that they are a part of it. I do believe that it is like an Illuminati Freemason situation because that's what the V2K says. I forgot to mention. Okay, sorry, I'm a little nervous. I'm always nervous. For some reason when it start recording because I want to get everything right.
You're doing great.
But I received heavy V2K, voice to skull technology. I received gang stalking 24/7, and I received the direct energy weapons 24/7 as well. I may not look like it, but I am one of the lucky few that have figured out their system. At the end of this, that's the main thing I want people to get from this. There is a way to survive the burns, the damage that they do to the nervous system, and there's a way to survive the gang stalking as well. Do not engage. Ignore them as much as possible. Your V2K is always lying to you. They are always lying about you. Their main goal is to distract you 24/7 from progressing. They will try to cause you health issues, so you have to maintain your health. And it's a lot of people want to choose the organic route, and that is a good route. But you have to understand that they're not hitting you with organic weapons. They are hitting you with technology and radiation. So for some of my products, they have chemicals in them that a lot of people don't agree with. But for the most part, it starts off organic. I use the basic Dead Sea minerals and a whole bunch of vitamins and even beets and a whole bunch of vegetables and vitamin B12s. I use all of that, but for the most part, those chemicals get added in because it's a quicker way for it to get into your system. So yeah, I think that's it. I hope that's it. Ask a question.
So that does sound like a very healthy way of living. Dead Sea minerals. So now let's talk about. Okay, there's a couple things I want to talk about. Number one, why do you think people are chosen to be targeted individuals?
My hypothesis, my theory on that is that they've created this system where you are locked in a box and they teach you limited information so that you could become a functioning cog in their machine or a compliant slave. So you have children like me who always thought outside the box. I always question, why do I have to be in this place 24, well, not 24/7, but for this amount of time? Why do I have to learn this when I want to learn this? Why do I have to paint this picture when I would rather paint something else? So I feel like this technology is already inside us. Like I explained to you earlier, it's embedded in our DNA. It's embedded in our parents' DNA. I feel like as a child, they evaluate you, and that is how they pick their targets based on your mindset. So if you're a free thinker and you question the system, okay, they're gonna start watching you well into your teen years and then into your adulthood if you survive their gang stalking. Me, I survived the high school torment. Um, they wanted me to commit suicide in high school. I didn't. I survived, and then they tortured me for 10 years into adulthood. So I feel like that is how they choose their targets based on your mindset as a child. They're already evaluating you. They already have this technology. Free thinkers like me, probably free thinkers like you, and other targeted individuals who question their system, we're not compliant. We want to break free. We want to be free. We want to experience that. We don't get that type of freedom. In fact, they put us in an even worse prison, a psychotronic prison. You know? So that's
psychotronic prison. And I gotta try to get my she says I still have an echo.
Yeah.
Hang on. Let me see here.
No, I can't hear you.
How about that?
I can hear you now.
Still echoing. Man.
Is it bad? Is it me? That's the question. Like,
I don't know. Do you have headphones?
I do. Let me see. I don't know if they're Bluetooth though. That's the problem. Do we need to pause the recording?
No. It's okay. We're live.
Oh, we're live? Oh,
yes.
It's live. Okay.
That's how I knew that I was echoing because they told me.
Oh, okay. Some people are watching this.
Yes, people are watching.
I didn't know. Oh my gosh.
Hang on, let me see if I can pull out.
Hi.
Okay. Well.
I'm not nervous.
Let's see. Is that better?
Now I hear your echo.
How about that?
That's better. Is it better on your end?
It's still echoing, but it's okay. You're going to be doing most of the talking.
Okay. All right.
So there's so many really good comments. I think you can't see them because you're on your phone. But make sure you go back and read them. But let's go ahead and talk about the you said the microwave. What is it called?
Oh, Psychotronic prison. The psychological psychological electronic prison. So they use dark psychology. You're getting hit with V2K. You're getting hit with direct energy weapons. You're getting hit with and you also get the gang stalking. So they use the street theater, whatever, to basically kind of like throw you off. And I know, I think I watched one of your videos and you spoke about the honeypots. Yeah, okay. So yeah, they use the honeypots to distract you from any goals that you set for yourself. I've tried to go back to school multiple times. I've tried to become a medical assistant, then a nurse, and each time I got distracted by a guy. You know what I mean? And they I didn't know that they were honeypots, and I didn't know what they were doing. But they use dark psychology, so it's emotional manipulation. They also will introduce you to drugs. So at one point, I want to say from September of 2022 to from September of 2022 to probably February or March, I was I was on drugs. They introduced me to it, but it was never in control of me. You know what I mean? So I was still able to work. I was still able to pay bills, but that's why I thought that the police had started harassing me and targeting me through dating apps and all of that. But it turns out that wasn't the case. They've been watching me my whole life. So when I say a psychotronic prison, you're inside your head, but they're hitting your voice. I'm sorry, they're hitting your brain and your nervous system with 65,000. I'm sorry, 65 kilohertz of a microwave frequency, um, which equates to 65,000 hertz of frequency, which is what a cat can hear. You know, so they're hitting you hard with frequency, and you're receiving V2K all day. Even right now, I'm getting a V2K. Nobody would ever know. So,
and so V2K is voice to skull. So it's like you hear people talking, but there's nobody there.
Exactly. So you're hearing, and they will, if you tell anyone that who isn't a target individual, they will say that that is schizophrenia. You're hearing voices. I'm alert oriented, incompetent, and I'm highly intelligent. I know when a human being is beaming into my skull and this technology exists, the patents exist, um, they have the capabilities to do it, and there's been too many reports. So they use voice to skull technology to perpetuate the narrative of schizophrenia. If the truth comes out, it would not only impact the pharmaceutical industry pretty hard, because the truth would come out that mental illness doesn't exist. You know, that's my goal. My goal is to get the truth out as quickly as possible. But yeah, I hope that answers your question.
It's interesting because I feel like if somebody is doing this to someone, it's making them mentally ill.
It would make them mentally ill. The problem is I studied it. So between March to November, I did this thing. I'm really good at telling stories. This one right here isn't a story, but I used to write books when I was in my own mind. You know, I used to write books. So I let them tell all their stories and I let them tell all their narratives until they started going in a circle. And once I realized they were going in a circle and they kept repeating the same lies, I was like, I got them. So they are humans. It is the government. This is technology. And once I discovered what a targeted individual is, I was started telling people, once you break out of the narrative, they lose power because they no longer have control. They told me I wouldn't be able to get a job. I have a job. I've been on my job for almost 10 months now. I'm a store manager. I started my own business. It's called TI Medkit. So www.timedkit.com. That's where everybody can purchase all of my products. I still have to update some more products, but I created this business specifically for TIs. When they started ripping my hand with frequency, basically stretching the nervous system and having deep cuts in my hand, that's when I was like, oh no, that's not going to happen. And once they started targeting my face and I started losing like hair and I was getting eczema on my eyes because they were restricting blood flow, I said, no, that's not going to happen. So I started wearing my copper, and I started creating products to hydrate. That's one thing I'm really good at. I'm good at surviving.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. Mm.
So tell us about the mental, because my biggest thing is that people isolate in fear. So how can they overcome this?
You have to refuse. Jesus refused. He refused the government. He refused the devil. And he refused a lot of people. He told a lot of people no. He told the people that followed him yes, but he even told his apostles no as well. Uh, my whole life I've been refusing. They've called me an angry person. I said, no, I'm happy. I'm always happy. But they play this hyper game theory to where they want you to perpetuate their narrative. So you have to know yourself. You have to be an authentic version of your true self. You have to dig deep inside, because scientific studies have shown that the highest frequency, the highest vibrational frequency is authenticity. So you have to know yourself inside and out. You have to know who you are and what you're capable of. I'm not going to let the government tell me what I can and cannot do in my body when I'm supposed to have privacy and I'm supposed to have control of my life. In order for you to get control of your mental state of mind, you have to be stronger than what they're putting you through. They had me in and out of the hospital earlier this year twice. In my life, I had never been to the hospital that much. After the second time, I think the first time they gave me paronychia, which is where they pump too much blood into one finger and they swell your finger up. Then they gave me like an ear infection, and I never had an ear infection in my life. And then the medication wasn't working because they was holding a blood vessel into it, holding the blood vessel and pumping more blood into the ear and having a nerve wrapped around the ear to where the medicine couldn't get through. So I was like, no, I have to save myself, because the doctor isn't going to do it if they're not going to acknowledge what's happening. So not only do you have to take care of your mental state of mind, you have to take care of your physical body as well. They both work hand in hand. So you can't just take care of one without taking care of the other. You know, if that answers your question.
Definitely. Oh, we've got our friend on here. Can you see the comment?
Derek.
So let's talk about refusing, because I feel like there is a lot of power in the things that we speak over ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
So what is an example of how we could change that narrative from what people are hearing to speaking life over themselves?
So, like I said, they told me that I would never get a job. So I was stuck in my mom's house, and I was sitting around here, and I was just smoking, and I never depended on her for anything, especially financially, until I realized the situation I was in. I needed time to sit and think. I had to get my mind together. In order to get away from that narrative, I got up after a few months of sitting down and thinking and listening to all of their narratives. I went and I got a job, and from there I went and I got a car, and from there, they've been attacking me financially, but I've been fighting them tooth and nail, balancing out the finances and just paying the stuff off so that I can move into the next step of my life. So you have to refuse. They tell me, oh, we'll leave you alone if you have sex with this person. I refuse. I no longer want to be in that lifestyle. So you're not going to force me into that lifestyle. You have they have targeted individuals have to take control of their lives. You can't let the V2K, the voice of skull technology, you can't let these people talk you into selling your soul or selling your body, your physical body. You have to be much stronger. And I've been looking for targeted individuals. I see the gang stalkers. Some of them have damaged skin. Some of them walk with limps. Some of them are hurting. But you have to open up your mouth to me so that I can help you. Because I don't have a limp. I lift boxes all day. I stock. I work. I just unloaded a 1,200 piece truck this morning. In this program, you're supposed to have a rapid deterioration of health, but it's supposed to be slowly over time. You know what I mean? So you have to want to basically help yourself. I hope, God, I hope I hope I'm saying that right. I hope I'm helping somebody. I'm hoping I'm encouraging somebody to stand up for themselves.
Absolutely. And what do you think about as far as faith and spirituality in helping through this?
That's a good question. I can go. Please don't get me started talking about God. I'll ramble. I leaned on God. I understand why they targeted me. I understand. I leaned on God my whole life, even as a child. I leaned on God. Even now, I'm unafraid of anything. I'm so fearless because God said, if He is with you, who can stand against you? And that's my motto for life, you know. So you have to. This is spiritual warfare, but they're utilizing technology against you. So you have to have both. You have to have physical armor, but you also have to have spiritual armor. You have to have a spirit of discernment. You have to know what's going on. Once you're aware of what's going on, do better and live your life in faith. If you do it the right way, nobody can get you for anything. So I walk in Christ. I work like Christ. I live like Christ. And they will say that those are the main people through V2K and their satanic cult. They will say that those are the main people that they target because for some reason they love watching and killing Jesus and people who live like Jesus over and over and over. It's entertainment for them. So, but that makes me want to fight harder for my faith because they're fighting so hard against me for my faith, you know? So I hope that encourages somebody too.
Yes, there's some good comments on here. Sonia, Casey, this is good.
Yep, very true.
You need also thank you. Well, you and I are going to have to do another video, like a part 2 or maybe series. The more videos that I do, and the more people that I meet, not one person that I have interviewed has seemed in any way mentally unstable or confused or anything like that.
Exactly. And that's the truth. And they will write us off as we're mentally unstable. They called me mentally retarded in a report, and I took that to heart. So I said, you want to call me mentally retarded? Well, let me sit here and destroy your $1 billion system, and then I'm going to show other people how to destroy your $1 billion system as well. Don't insult my intelligence. All that does is make me work 51 billion times harder.
Right.
You know?
Well, thank you so much for coming on here. We're going to end the live stream. A couple more comments on here. Sonia, thank you so much. Buckshot. All right. And we'll let you know when we're going to do our part 2.